big stage. He's a proven manager, a proven winner at Manchester United, who's already improved what Oli and Rangnick were able to do. And we want to get rid of him to bring in, no disrespect, but managers who've... Manchester United have a big problem, and it has to do with Erik ten Hag. I can't believe that once again we are here talking about a manager and why Manchester United should or shouldn't sack a manager. In this case, United shouldn't sack Erik ten Hag. I think that's quite obvious, but there are people out there that still believe that Erik ten Hag should be sacked. And in this video, I'm going to outline the reasons why I believe Erik ten Hag shouldn't be sacked, and why I truly believe in Erik ten Hag, and why I think he is the man to take Manchester United to the promised land. And I want to start by talking about how we got to this situation as to why we're talking about Erik ten Hag being sacked. We of course know there were reports on Fridays United were having talks with McKenna, and they were looking at other managers such as Poch and Tuchel, and in my opinion, straight away, that's just a very disrespectful thing to do as a football club. Your manager is about to go into a final. We're acting like Tottenham at the minute. When Tottenham were about to go into a final with Jose Mourinho, they ended up losing that final. We're acting like a club like Tottenham. We've not won trophies in ages. That is just something you don't do. Something extremely disrespectful. But anyways, seeing how bad the season was, although it was disrespectful, you kind of could understand where they were coming from. I still disagreed with it, but I could understand where they were coming from. And a lot of people still believe that Erik ten Hag would have been sacked if he hadn't won the FA Cup against Man City. Now, there was no too little hope of Manchester United fans towards this game and us actually beating City. I personally thought we were going to lose 4-0, 5-0. I thought it was going to be a horrible game. Ten Hag proved me wrong. There were of course fans out there that thought otherwise, but that wasn't the majority. That was a very small minority that thought that was going to happen, and that's why I want to give Ten Hag his flowers as well, because he proved all of us wrong. And what Ten Hag proved to me is, once again, I think he just had to remind all of us that Ten Hag is a winning coach. That's 2 seasons now that he has 2 trophies. You know, you can try and downplay the Carabao Cup and its importance, but you can't deny the fact that Ten Hag was able to win a trophy. He also got to the FA Cup's final last year. So that's 3 finals in 2 years for Erik ten Hag. I think that's pretty good for a manager who took Manchester United. I think people are forgetting how horrible United were 2 years ago, and the narrative around that football club. And that brings me to my next point, is that we've had a bad season, but Erik ten Hag has still some way managed to get us a trophy against. So he got us a trophy against the best team, if you let people tell you, the best team in Premier League history, who've now won 4 Premier Leagues in a row, a team who's fresh from winning a treble last season, and by winning that FA Cup, we've managed to get ourselves some European football, finishing in 8th place. Ten Hag should be criticised for the way the season has gone for United. However, we can't just overlook everything. He's been bad, but we need to look at the reasons why Ten Hag has been bad. The injuries in and around the team, the fact that last year we had the best defense in the league, even with De Gea making all those mistakes, but this year we've not had the same, I want to say centre-back partnership, but we've not even had the same back four. We've had to play the season time and time again our right backs as left backs, especially Aaron Bissaka, who's been awful left back, but he's playing out of his position. We've had to bring back Johnny Evans. I thought it was a joke in the summer when we signed Johnny Evans to a 1-year contract, but we had to use him. Last year, when we had our preferred partnership and we had Luke Shaw on the left-hand side, who would swap over from time to time with Malacia, we had the best defense in the league. Erik ten Hag was able to take a team from Rangnick and Oli that was completely awful, and he transformed that team into the best defense in the league and helped us to finish 3rd. I hope people don't forget that and don't overlook how big of an achievement that is. This team is far from done. It is far from perfect, but Ten Hag has been putting in the work, and the things that I have outlined last year, getting Champions League football after the horrible season that we had with Rangnick and Oli, the club was in a complete mess. The fact that he was able to win the FA Cup and Carabao Cup, he was able to win 2 trophies in 2 years, and the fact that, again, although this was you can argue that this is the worst finish we've had. Not argue, but this is the worst finish we've had, 8th place in a long time for Manchester United, and we've had a negative goal difference for the first time in Premier League history. Even then, we were able to beat the we were able to beat the Premier League champions in Man City. Our team is not good, but Ten Hag has been able to somehow pull that off. The last point I want to make is for all of us to take a minute and look at Ten Hag's past success, because we want to bring in Tuchel, we want to bring in Poch, we want to bring in McKenna, but if we look at the resume of all of these guys, Ten Hag's resume is just far and above, much better than these guys, and he's already our manager. So why are we having conversations about him going? This is a manager that took over Ajax, and in his first 3 years, he was able to three-peat with Ajax. 2019, 2020, and 2021, Erik Ten Hag delivered for Ajax. Especially after that first year when they won it, and let's not forget that he also took an extremely young squad, and he took them to a Champions League semi-final. And if it wasn't for Lucas Moura having one of the greatest performances we've ever seen in the last 20 minutes of that match, then Erik Ten Hag would have taken that young team that knocked out Real Madrid in the Champions League to the final. So we're talking about a manager who's proven in terms of domestic football and in the European big stage. He's a proven manager, a proven winner at Manchester United, who's already improved what Oli and Rangnick were able to do. And we want to get rid of him to bring in, no disrespect, but managers who've not been able to win major trophies just yet. In Tuchel, you can argue the fact that he won the Champions League at Chelsea, but you look at what Tuchel has been able to do since then, and it's not very inspiring. I still prefer Erik Ten Hag. I trust Erik Ten Hag. I trust the way he's been able to deal with this team, the way he's been able to bring forward these young players and give them confidence. Guys like Kobe Mainoo, Garnacho, that just the performances they were able to put up. This team is not perfect. It is not close to perfect. But the fact that you want to get rid of Erik Ten Hag to bring in these second, fourth team managers, for what? When we have a manager that could possibly work. The priority for Ineos and the Glazers, and I don't even want to talk about these guys right now, but their priority should be to sort out the football directing side of the football club, to bring in someone that will aid in Ten Hag's vision, to bring in an Edu, to bring in someone just like Arsenal had with Edu and Arteta, to bring in someone that will be able to work with Ten Hag in synergy to bring forth the vision that he has for this football club, and the hope that all of us football fans have for this football club. Long story short, we shouldn't sack Erik Ten Hag. Thank you very much for watching to the end, guys. Very much appreciated. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, do all these things to please help me grow this channel. And I'll see you guys soon.